Hello and welcome back to the Three Pillars Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Tobin, aka Tobinator the Motivator, and this is episode 104, Mental Health Counseling. Guys, welcome back to the Three Pillars Podcast, a podcast where we focus on those three pillars of fitness: spiritual, mental, and physical fitness, to help us grow closer to the Lord on this journey we call life. If you're a returning viewer or listener, thank you very much for being back. Thank you for all your support throughout the years. It's been a real blessing to get in here every week and talk to you guys about anything and everything that helps us just to be better human beings. If you are a brand new listener or brand new viewer, welcome. If you are looking for more content, check out the Three Pillars Podcast website, threepillarspodcast@wordpress.com. Also check us out on Good Pods. Good Pods is a podcast discovery platform, kind of like Goodreads for books, that helps little podcasts like mine get discovered. Again, if you're a brand new listener or viewer, if you find that this show is edifying, if you find that this show teaches you something, please leave a 5-star rating and review, no matter what platform you're listening to this on, or go to all of them and get bonus points and help us get higher in the ratings and everything like that. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. This isn't a podcast where you have to tune in every single week to get something out of it or to follow along with this journey. It's just a weekly chat to try to help set your tone for the week. And end your week strong and get you ready for another week the following week. That's all we try to do here. This is episode 104. We're going to talk about mental health counseling and what that means, what that entails, and who should take advantage of mental health counseling. I think you guys will find this pretty enlightening through and through. So, as always, we're going to start with a quick word of prayer, and then we're going to dive right in like always. So, without further ado, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we love you. Thank you for giving us guidance. Thank you for giving us direction. Thank you for counseling us in our time of need. Thank you for being there on the highest points of the mountain and down in the lowest valleys. Lord, we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything you do for us. Lord, I ask that you be with me today. Give me the words to say. Give anybody tuning into this the eyes to see, ears to hear, and hearts to receive anything that grows them closer to you, Lord. In the most holy name of Jesus, amen. All right. Healthy counseling, mental health counseling, that's our topic for the day. What is it and who can benefit from it? So mental health counseling can, in a healthy sense, even if you aren't experiencing any kind of trauma, even if you're not going through some trials and tribulation, anyone and everyone can benefit from mental health counseling. I've done it myself. I've done it with my wife. We've done marriage counseling. Not that we've got anything wrong, but sometimes it's good to have an unbiased third-party perspective to get in and just give you some advice to help you grow, to help you become more self-aware, to help you cope with anything that you might deal with in your relationship, whether that relationship is with yourself, with your spouse, what have you. It's a beautiful tool if you utilize it well. Just like every other tool we talk about in this program, it's another tool for that toolbox. And I highly recommend each and every one of you, if you get a chance, once a year, twice a year, however often you think you need to get in and just to speak to a professional to get some further insight into what you can do to be a better person. So we're going to dive right in. I got a couple points here. We're going to go through each one of them per the usual and see what we can do to help each other out. All right. Just quick caveat. If you are in any kind of emotional, mental distress, and it's something that you feel like you can't get out of, you can. I'll pray for you. There's plenty of people who will help support you in your mission. Don't give up. That's a big takeaway. A lot of people think that because you go to a counselor, there's something wrong with you. Maybe you've got an issue that lots of other people do. You might think you're alone, but you can get through it with the right help and the right support network. So that's what you need to do. If you are in a serious distress situation, please call 911. Please take yourself to the emergency room, something like that, and we can get through it that way. A lot of times you have to just get your body in a state of homeostasis and get back to a right frame of mind before you can tackle some of these other issues. But if you are seriously in some kind of need, don't hesitate. Go ahead and jump on the phone and get yourself help now. All that being said, healthy counseling starts, the first benefit is emotional support. Mental health counselors provide a safe and non-judgmental space for individuals to express their thoughts emotions, and concerns. They offer emotional support and understanding, allowing individuals to feel heard and validated. So that emotional support is huge. A lot of times people think they're alone. A lot of times, even if you're not, even if you're going for like a kind of a checkup, okay, that emotional support, that unbiased third party, somebody who's not going to judge you, somebody there who is just there to listen to you vent in a professional way. Like you can call your buddy, you can call your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever it is, and vent to them. But sometimes like, yeah, okay, they don't know how to deal with something. They just listen. A good counselor is a professional listener. So they're not only going to give you active listening skills, that they're going to listen to you, they're going to give something back to you, but they're also going to allow you to just say whatever's on your mind. Okay? And that's going to help you work your way through these thoughts, these emotions. Because a lot of times we just have to talk it out, and through a guided conversation, you can work out your problem just by talking through it. So that emotional support is huge, and it's going to allow you to feel heard. Because there's a lot of people out there who feel like there's just nobody to listen to them. They don't feel like anybody can actually hear them when they talk. Having that confidential person, that professional, listen to what you've got to say and let you fully articulate what you need to get through it's going to pay off dividends in the long run. Okay? So that first point is emotional support. That's why healthy counseling or any type of counseling is important. It's huge. The second point is improved self-awareness. Counseling can help individuals gain a deeper understanding of themselves, their emotions, and their behaviors. Through self-guided reflection and exploration, individuals can develop great self-awareness, leading to personal growth and a clearer sense of identity. So as you talk through these problems, as you go through these guided conversations, it's going to help you, again, take this big filter you've got on the world and narrow it and get you more of a focus. And that focus is going to be crucial for you to become more self-aware. We talked about it a couple episodes ago. Pride is something that, again, you have these blinders on you, and it's like looking in a mirror with blinders on. But you still have to focus your attention on some of these things, and you have to have humility, and you have to understand that you have faults. And how can you take those faults and turn them into, you can kind of refine them and turn that weakness into a strength. You can do that by talking yourself through this improved self-awareness. That counseling will provide. Now, who are your counselors? Who can you talk to? There's a slew of different professionals out there. I go to a Christian counselor. My wife and I we probably go now once a year, twice a year, just to check in with them and let them know how we're doing. Again, we don't have any issues with our marriage in the sense that we're seeking counseling because we're at each other's throats all the time. We're at a point where now we want to go to that next level. Sometimes we just need to have somebody to talk to help us improve this self-awareness so we can take these plans we have to that next level. Does that make sense? I hope so. Third point, coping strategies. Mental health counselors can teach valuable coping strategies and techniques to manage stress, anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. They provide practical tools that individuals can apply in their daily lives to navigate difficulties more effectively. So if you are going through something, you're trying to cope with a past trauma, you're trying to cope with a current trauma that's going on in your life, no matter what it be, whether it's finances, domestics, whether it's substance abuse, sexual abuse, you name it, whatever it might be, they are going to help you with these coping strategies, ways that you can overcome it, and that's your therapy. It's just like a physical therapist after you bust a shoulder or a leg or a knee or something like that. These counselors are your mental therapists. They are going to help you work through different exercises for your brain and your body to help you get back to a state where you can function optimally. And all this being said, it takes work. You can't just show up on the couch one day and talk to them and expect everything to be hunky-dory like that. You have to go and be willing to be willing to put in that work that's going to be required of you after you see this counselor. Because again, they're going to give you these coping strategies, but you can't just take that and go sit back on your own couch and wait for something to happen. It's like if you just go to the gym and don't do anything, you're not going to get the gains because you're not actually doing it. If you just show up, that's half the battle is actually showing up. Then you have to put in that work. Just because you show up doesn't mean your job's done. You have to show up and put in the work. That's a freebie, all right? So coping strategies, again, they're going to help you manage that stress, anxiety, depression, whatever you got going on. And again, stress doesn't have to just be something negative. You might just have a lot going on with work, a lot going on with family. How do I manage this type of stress in my life to balance it out so I'm not spread so thin and I can be optimal in all these different facets of my life? Number 4, problem-solving skills. Counseling helps individuals develop effective problem-solving skills. Counselors can assist in identifying patterns of thinking and behavior that may contribute to challenges and work collaboratively with individuals to explore alternative approaches and solutions. So they're going to analyze your patterns. They're going to analyze your behavior. They're going to help you optimize your routine. We've talked about routine on this program several times. What are you doing in your daily life that maybe you can trim the fat a little bit? Taking a step back and looking at your day and the time that you have that you're awake. Okay, we got 8 hours of sleep. We've got 8 hours of work. We've got the other 8 hours we're doing whatever, right? There's lots of things that depends on your schedule, obviously. But they can help analyze these patterns in your life because we're all creatures of habit. Each of these habits that you have, maybe whether they're good or bad habits, you can step back and analyze. And this third party, this counselor, can help look at your life objectively and figure out where you can optimize your time. Okay, you get up in the morning, you read, you do whatever, you go to the gym, and then before you go to work, you sit for an hour and you scroll on Instagram or whatever. And you find that you do that every single day. Well, that hour that you're sitting there scrolling, maybe you could be doing something else. I don't know, extending your gym time or reading more of that book or getting a head start on your day for work or making breakfast for the kids or whatever it might be. Getting the clothes folded, doing 20 minutes of cleaning. That way you don't have to do it on the back end of your day. There's little things that can help you modify your behavior and solve these problems in your life. Okay, I'm so stressed out because I don't have enough time in my day. Well, let's take a step back and see if we can find time by, addition through subtraction, or what's the term? I forget, but it's basically when you add something instead of taking it away, and that kind of pushes out the bad stuff. So instead of, I'm cutting out this Instagram scrolling time, maybe I just work out a little bit longer, so that way I don't have time to scroll for that long. Does that make sense? And that way you're more likely to get in that gym routine rather than scrolling Instagram all day long. I just use that as an example. You can apply this to anything. If you've got family challenges, I don't have enough time for my family, or I feel like I'm not a good father or a good husband or anything like that. Well, let's take a step back. Why do you think that? Maybe you don't have enough time to be with your family, or whatever it might be. They can help you solve this problem. Okay, maybe you just need to make breakfast for them once a week, or when the kid says, hey, play with me, instead of saying, hey, hang on, I got this other thing to do, just drop that other thing real quick and play with your kid for a minute, or be with your wife for a period of time, or a husband, or whoever it is. These little patterns in your life, these counselors may be able to assess and figure out how to better optimize your time, because that's really what it gets down to is not feeling so stressed out because you've got better time management. That's a big part of it. It's not the answer to everything, but that's a big part of it, is managing that time, managing that stress. Okay? So that's problem-solving skills. Number 5, improved relationships. Counseling can enhance communication skills, emotional intelligence, and interpersonal dynamics, leading to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Counselors can provide guidance on navigating conflicts, improving boundaries, and fostering deeper connections with others. So by you talking to this professional, they're going to analyze your patterns, they're going to analyze your behavior, and help you figure out where you can be the most effective with your time and then with your relationships. If you're not really good at talking to people and socializing, things like that, it's not the end of the world, but maybe the relationships that you do have, how can you strengthen those relationships? How can you set boundaries for people who you don't necessarily want in your life, or people who you might consider toxic or something like that? Or how can you navigate through conflicts? Maybe you're just not good at conflict resolution. Instead of sitting there, either shelling up and running away from a problem, or getting, blowing your top and going off on somebody because you're mad at them, how can you better resolve that conflict through words? Through, I call it judo, but being able to actually sit down with that person and talk through the problem. that's just basic communication skills, really what it gets down to. But you can improve that through counseling. Hey, I've got this issue with my mother-in-law, and she just drives me up the wall. Why? My mother-in-law I love her. She makes me cookies and she loves me. So I'm not that. This is probably a bad example, but if I were to have any issue with my mother-in-law, how can I go about? Because she's the only mother-in-law I've got, right? How do I go about strengthening that relationship with her and keeping myself from conflict? There's that classic mother-in-law is just a witch thing. How do you get out of that and get into something more healthy? Does that make sense? So that's a silly example, I guess, but that's going to help you improve your relationships by you talking and dealing with these counselors. They can help you navigate that conflict. They can give you better emotional intelligence. How do I manage my emotions to the point where I'm not losing it and just blowing a gasket? How can I take what somebody's given to me, rework it in my brain, and spit back out something more productive, if that makes sense? And then again, deeper connections with others. That just gets down to the relationships that you do have, make them as strong as possible. How do you do that? By being an active listener, by engaging. Sometimes you may have that really good friend that you don't talk to for that often because you both have life going on, but then you pick back up right where you left off, and it's still a fantastic relationship. Those things exist, but in your day-to-day relationships, they can help you grow deeper with the people that mean a lot to you, if that makes sense. Almost done. Number 6, stress reduction. Seeking counseling can help individuals manage and reduce stress. We sort of talked about this already. Counselors can help individuals identify stressors, develop stress management techniques, and implement self-care strategies to promote overall well-being. So we get stressed out in our lives. There's distress and eustress. Distress is if you're like fight or flight, you don't know what's going on, you've got somebody coming after you, right? Most people, especially in this country, they're not that stressed out. They just can't handle their stress very well, if that makes sense. Nothing's out there to get you, like the stress of, if I'm a gazelle on a plane and I've got a lion coming after me around every blade of grass, okay? That's stress. That's distress. Something's trying to get me. But there is a little bit of stress that people deal with. There's financial stress, emotional stress, stress from work, stress from whatever, you name it. But it's not necessarily the stress, is how you manage it that puts people in a wad. So by sitting with a counselor and figuring out, okay, this happened to me, it got me so flustered, I was so anxious, I didn't know how to deal with it, I almost broke down. I got it done at the end of the day, but I feel like I could have handled that a lot better. Can you help me? Sure, let's take a look at this situation. Here's what happened. Why was it so stressed out? Oh, it's because you put something off for so long, and now you had to do on top of this other thing, and it just kind of compounded, and now you're stressed out because it was self-induced. Oh, I've got this winter's coming, and I have to fill the gas tanks at the house, or I've got to chop a bunch of wood and keep my house warm for this, thinking back on a prairie days, right? I've got to chop all this wood and keep my house warm, but I waited until August to start doing this when I should have been doing it in June. Self-induced friction, right? Maybe they can help you identify that. That way it's not so compounding. So they're going to help you manage that stress. Okay, how do you exercise your mind? This event happens. Here's a scenario. How do you work through it? Boom, go, execute. Okay, well, this happens. I carry the one, make it happen, go that way. And, okay, that makes sense. We found a path to the solution by talking through the problem. So these stress management techniques, you've got work, and you've got a couple weeks worth of projects that are due. Take the ones you can manage early on, knock them out of the way, so you can focus more time on the big stuff. Get the little stuff off your plate so you can focus more time on the big stuff. It's going to have to take a little bit more time, if that makes sense. These little techniques can help you be more optimal in all aspects of what you've got going on. So definitely another huge benefit of seeking counseling in a healthy way. Okay. Again, this episode is mostly for just any old body who needs to get involved with a counselor or something. I recommend it to anybody. But if you're in super distress, these things are going to be they're going to dig down a lot deeper because you have other issues you got to get worked out, where then somebody else may need a little push to get to that next level, and then you're good to go. Okay. Finally, number 7, mental health maintenance. Regular counseling sessions can play a crucial role in maintaining good mental health. By addressing concerns early and engaging in ongoing support, individuals can prevent the escalation of mental health issues, promote resilience, and foster long-term well-being. It's kind of a culmination of everything we've already talked about. You realize, okay, there's an issue that could potentially cause me drama in my life. How do I get ahead of that? Because I can't stop it from coming. Okay, but how do I prepare for it getting here? It's like a train coming at you. You know it's coming. But how do you prepare for that to get there? You make sure the track's all maintained, all the bolts are in there properly. Don't put pennies on the track, right? You make sure the stop arms are ready so nothing else can interfere with that train coming through, and you get ready to take it head on. All right. You prevent the escalation of mental health issues because a lot of what you see, especially in this country, is just it's anxiety, depression. It's anxious because you don't know how to deal with what's coming down the track. You don't know how to deal with that train coming at you. You're depressed now because you don't know you have these skills to overcome that train coming on, and you're so stressed out because you see this thing coming now. You don't know what to do because it's coming now. What do I do? What do I do? Take a deep breath. Use these strategies. Deal with what the counselor has given you, and you're going to be more resilient. You're going to have more long-term well-being because you have prepared. You are resilient. You have a plan. Maybe that plan goes a little bit one way or a little bit the other, but generally speaking, it's going in the right direction because you've built contingencies upon these things, and you're not as stressed out because you know, at least you have some semblance of what's getting ready to happen and how you can potentially navigate that obstacle or that event or whatever's coming on in your life, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Makes sense to me. If it doesn't, let me know. Okay. So that's some benefits of seeking counseling. I highly encourage any and every one of you to go and just talk to somebody. It can't hurt to go and talk to somebody. This is obviously a Christian program. I recommend a Christian counselor who can really get down into and help not only work on your mental health, but help on your spiritual health too, because all these things intertwine with one another. My wife and I go to a wonderful couple in High Point here where we live, and every so often we just check in with them, have a nice little conversation, and we don't see them for a little while because we're just trying to keep maintenance. It's like servicing your car. You do it every so often just so it doesn't break down. Very similar concept with your body. All right, so we'll review these one more time. Benefits of seeing a counselor. Number 1, emotional support. Number 2, improved self-awareness. Number 3, coping strategies. Number 4, problem-solving skills. Number 5, improved relationships. Number 6, stress reduction. And number 7, mental health maintenance. Now, the last little note. It is important to note that each person's experience with counseling may vary and that the benefits depend on individual circumstances and the therapeutic relationship. Nevertheless, seeking a mental health counselor can provide valuable support and guidance on the path toward emotional well-being. So again, results may vary. You may have different levels of things you've got going on. Maybe you need a little bit more time. Maybe you need once a week. Maybe you need once a month. Maybe you need once every 6 months. Depends on what you've got going on. It's like seeing a personal trainer at the gym. Maybe you're good with them only once a week. Maybe you need that person 3 times a week just to keep you on track until you are ready to take the training wheels off and go out on your own. And after that, then you check in once a month or whatever, once a quarter, whatever it might be. Eventually, that's where you want to get to the point where now you are doing this without them. But they're there and they're happy to help you. So don't forget that. And again, if you find a solid Christian counselor is going to help you not only grow in your mental health, but in your spiritual health and your relationship with the Lord, that's next level stuff. Okay. So guys, that's all I got for you all this week. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Chase Tobin. This is the 3 Pillars Podcast. If you didn't check out last week's episode, you're in for a treat. The kids came on and talked about foods that they liked, and it was funny, but it was very informative, I think. If you guys got kiddos of your own, I'll definitely go check that one out. Check out episode 100. My wife came on and delivered an awesome chat with me. We talked about healthy intimacy between couples. It was fantastic. So a lot of cool things going on here with the 3 Pillars Podcast. I thank you very much for all of your support. I thank you very much for your comments, for the comments on Good Pods, the ratings and stuff on Apple and Spotify. It means a lot to me. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, leave us a rating review. Hit that notification bell. I put a lot of content pretty regularly. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We're going to end with a quick word of prayer as always, and then kick you guys out for another fantastic weekend. So here we go. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we love you. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for guiding us each and every single day on the path that we need to walk, Lord. And that path is directed straight at you. Help us keep our focus. Help us keep our wits about us each and every day. Help us to maintain our mind, our body, and our spirits, that we can be just shining examples of your love and light here on earth, that we can bring many, many more to your fold. Lord, we just love you so much. We thank you. I ask that you bless anybody tuning in here tonight. Give them courage this week. Give them wisdom. Give them discernment. Most importantly, give them rest as they get ready for another fantastic week. And Lord, I ask all this in the most holy name of Jesus. Amen. All right, guys, thank you once again. I'm Chase Tobin. This is the Three Pillars Podcast. Until next week, Tobinator out.